Good morning, afternoon, or evening, or every time it is for you. I'm Cycle. This is part 2 of Let's Play the Introduction to Portsmouth Direct Line. You complete the Havant stop and the doors shut after what seemed like an eternity. We're going to leave at 40 miles per hour as noted in the end of the first part, which seemed to be a natural cutoff when we change over to the other line. The mileposts are going to change. So we're going to see the first of these new mileposts right here, coming up at the next milepost marker. $70 will be our new speed limit, $35 for free. We have to wait until our train fully passes the speed limit sign, at which point we're going to get to move up to that new speed limit. I'd call it a speed restriction, but there's not really... Okay! Just a short distance from Havant is Bedhampton. I've heard of this, which is now a suburb of Havant. The station was opened in 1906 as Bedhampton Halt and is manned only part-time. In 2007, the station got a facelift with platform resurfacing and lengthening, new shelters, and crossing gates provided. After Bedhampton are a series of overhead road bridges for the A27 and A3, which cross the track and connect this area of the south coast of England with the rest of the country. There we go, and a repeater signal saying that we have a proceed aspect. So we're going to be able to proceed at the next signal, which is what we expected. Bedhampton. There's another sign for Bedhampton. Here's another sign for Bedhampton, and that's the end of the platform. We're now going to be under an 85 mile per hour speed limit, so we are just increasing very casually because, again, we're not in a hurry today. We're not being graded, so no hurry. Another green signal. There's another milepost. That would have been 39, I believe. Unless I missed one. There's a lot more signals in closer proximity now on this part of the line. So the signal blocks are a lot shorter now, I'm noticing. We have 4 signal blocks currently shown ahead. They seem to be about half a mile apart. So if we need to come to a break at some point in here, we're not going to have a lot of space to do so. 40 limit ahead, but that's for a junction, so we're not worried about that on our part. That is for a junction speed limit, I believe. But there is a 60 for us ahead, so we are going to need to get down to 60. I did a little early, but we did it. And I did it on milepost correct. That was 40 we just passed, so 41 is coming up next, as shown on the HUD. I'm going to go ahead and remove my brakes. Let's see if we can maintain 60 now. I'm going to go from 60 to 80 to 85 again, which is kind of funny. Again, not sure why we have this little break here, but I'm guessing it's because we have to go on a junction at some point, and the junction limit is probably a 60. Why are we being alerted to something we've already gone down to? Come on. We're already down there. We saw the 40 sign, but again, that is for a junction. And we're actually losing a little too much speed, so I'm actually reapplying some throttle right now. To get closer to 60, we're going to get a milepost notification in just a moment, so I'm going to remove the throttle as we get to that. Never mind, we're not going to remove the throttle. We're going to leave it on. We are approaching Portsea Island, on which lies the city of Portsmouth. Portsea Island is connected to the mainland by 3 road bridges, a pedestrian and cycle bridge, and a rail bridge over which we will be shortly crossing. The channel known as Ports Creek separates the island from the mainland. Shortly after the rail bridge is Southsea Station, which was opened as Southsea Halt in November 1941 as a wartime necessity to transport workers nearby factories. To transport workers nearby factories. Yep, the English is great on this scenario. During the war, there were extensive sidings, none of which remain today. An industrial estate is now situated in their old location. These days, the station is only manned during peak hours and is mainly used by commuters who work in the industrial estate. By the way, talking about all these things that don't exist today, there is actually a different version of this specific area that we're in right now. I think if we're not in the range, we will be shortly. But a lot of these things that didn't exist then actually exist in that version of the route. And this is in the workshop. Something by Warwick Rail I'm just going to point out. It's the only item he has in the workshop, but it is a good one. And I need to actually check it out at some point on this channel. It actually does cover the Portsmouth, and some of the areas that we're traveling on this Portsmouth direct line. But it's also going to take a northern path out of there as well. And it's going to take some of the extra sidings the extra lines that don't exist today. So there's several lines on that line that no longer exist now. And that's something that I'm going to try to check out on this channel at some point. So just keep an eye out for that when the time comes. I am going to try and get that on this channel because I do want to see what that looks like and see how much busier the line is. And I'm probably going to have to drive steam on there, but there are some diesel and even the 402 electric, which actually did work on that line as well. So I do have options for driving on that line. So something you can look forward to. I will try and drive that line at some point on this channel. And scenarios for it if he has any. So we're going to go ahead and put the brakes on now. There we go. Just enough. We have a proceed aspect. We know this because of that diagonal aspect there, and we are now proceeding past the 60, right back into the 80, and then right back in the 85. Amazing how that was just for a very short range of time. We had to go 60. Why? I have no idea. Another repeater signal. Lots of them on this line. Another proceed aspect. Wish we had those on some American routes. It's hard to see those signals around the corner. Repeaters would be handy. So we have another milepost indicator coming up here, and as you can see, we have a stop right after that at Fratton. The remaining mileposts are before stations, so we don't have much left to go through here. Not a lot of history lessons remaining. I'm going to go ahead and just leave the speed at 85 right now, or 75 right now. There's no reason to go up to 85 is what I meant to say, because we're going to have to come down to 75 and 40 and stop anyway. So a mile out from the station, I will start slowing down officially, but we may be able to delay that because I'm already slowing down a little bit unintentionally. Thank you. Being warned of the 40, I believe, ahead, which I should probably start slowing down for. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Coming up is Fratton. You need to stop at Fratton and the next two stations to finish up the Portsmouth Harbour, where this introductory journey will end. Fratton is now a largely residential area with rows of Victorian terraced housing, with much of the areas of industry now dismantled. Aww. Fratton Station is the closest to Portsmouth FC Stadium, Fratton Park, and trains, here on match days, get packed with supporters dressed in the blue team colours. Fratton has a large traction maintenance depot, TMD, operated by Southwest Trains, where locomotives are serviced and maintained. There is built on the site of the old Motive Power Depot, which was demolished in 1969. Let me read that again to make sure I'm reading that correctly. This is built on the site of the old Motive Power Depot, which was demolished in 1969. Ting! Your scheduled arrival time for Fratton is 16:24. Oh, we're early. With a departure of 16:25. Are you managing to keep time? Now we're early. You're not making me wait to leave, so we're early. Boy, I need to get down to 40 in a hurry, so I'm going to have to slam those brakes to like in very high setting there, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and ease the brakes off a little bit now because I don't need to rush down to 40. I just need to get down there in time. A little more now. So So we're going to get down to 40 in time, but I might be going too fast for Fratton. We're going to find out. We're not far out from the station, so I'm just keeping the brakes on. You see the speed limits get a lot smaller as we go along here. They definitely don't want us crashing into the sea, which I appreciate. In fact, you can see the stations are up. We're at the very end of the route here. We are actually getting to the very end of the route. Portsmouth Harbour is very close. So here's our next stop at Fratton. Ding! Green signal. This is probably one of those stations we don't need to get the entire train in. There's no way we're going to get the entire train in, so I'm not even going to try. More brakes, please. We went just past the signal, but we're okay with that. We're going to get a green here. Doors are now open. And if we look outside, it's actually going to show us a red signal, but that's because we've already passed it. So because we've already passed the signal, it's going to show us red because we are now officially in the signal block. We are clear to proceed past that signal because we did have a green. So we're going to be able to proceed. The doors are open. Let's just take another look along the platform. Disengage from the train. Go for a little walk here. No! No, let me on! Let me on! Ooh. No, let me off! Ooh. Okay, we can go. The doors close at front and you are given the all clear to proceed. Alright. Moving along. So I did see that we have a 25 and a 15 coming up, so I kind of don't really want to go all the way up to 40 for naturally understandable reasons. I mean, we could, but there's no reason to. So we're going to go ahead and just ease the throttle off right there at 23. Why not? Let's pump it up a tiny bit more. There we go. That'll do. That'll do nicely. We're already being given a platform indicator up ahead. Portsmouth and Southsea is the main station in central Plymouth. The area is known for having a thriving commercial center and social scene. The station buildings currently seen were built in 1866 and have managed to survive bombing and developers to remain largely unchanged. However, there used to be a large brick goods shed just south of the station, which was closed in 1936 and is now a car park and shops. From the station area, you can start to see a relatively modern addition to Portsmouth's skyline, the distinctive Spinnaker Tower, which was opened in October 2005. This 170-meter tall visitor attraction is the centerpiece of the redevelopment of the Portsmouth Harbour area. We're going to have to see if we can get over to that. Let's get to Portsmouth first, then we'll look for this tower. We'll get there, and then we'll look for the tower. We'll have to get down to 15 by the time we get to Portsmouth as well. And then for some reason we can go 40 after that. I don't understand why, because there's not very much further to go after that. So, yeah, 1 mile. But not sure why we're going to be able to go 40 in that section, especially with our spongy brakes. So here is platform D. We're going via, is that platform D or is that just line D? I'm not sure. But we're going to D. Probably for down platform. Okay, I need more brakes. Thank you. That's that. So we must now go at a snail's pace. Slow and steady wins the race. The green signal remains for us. We enter Portsmouth and Southsea Station. You can see the next milepost marker ahead already, which means the end of the line is 0.8 of a mile after that. Or less, or more, or something. Need some more speed coming in the station because we were going way too slowly into here, in my expert opinion. Oh, look at that. Street down there, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, nice little roundabout over there. Excellent. Now I'm going to hit the brakes. Again, we're not going to get the whole train in here. Is that the Spinnaker Tower? Is that the Spinnaker Tower? It is distinctive, I will give them that. Let's open the doors and I'll see if I can get to the Spinnaker Tower. I want to see the Spinnaker Tower. Do you? Yes, of course you do. Let's see the Spinnaker Tower. All the way over there. You can see the railway line is going to go and we're going to be eventually coming in here. But this is the Spinnaker Tower. Welcome to the Spinnaker Tower, ladies and gentlemen. Ah. So you're able to come up. No, you can't. You can't come up here at all. What is this? You can't go up here, can you? Can you go in here? I have no idea. Okay, back to the train. So we're going to be driving up under that as we get to the end of the route. We'll explore the end of the route in more detail in a moment. You complete the required stop at Portsmouth and Southsea. Just one more stop remains. Roger. Thank you. Took long enough to close the doors. So we're going to get up to 15 and we're probably going to have to wait to get any more speed. But we're not going to be able to go all the way up to 40 because we're not going to have enough time to get up to 40. We're going to have to drop down to 20. We're going to have to come to a stop. Why? Because we've been ordered such. And when you are ordered such, you do such. I imagine this station's got to be long enough for the entire train. They're not going to make the station too short for us. Another nice network of streets down here. I mean, given the, it's nice that they made the effort to get all the streets down here. Not high quality compared to what you would get on there nowadays. I'm going to look forward to seeing the 2019 version of the route and also the new Spinnaker Tower on that version of the route. So I look forward to seeing that eventually. But you got to admire the effort they put in to get it somewhat accurate back then, too. There's the end of the line for us. I did notice when we went ahead on the route earlier, we have a right curve coming up. So we're going to know that there's a right curve ahead. I'm going to take a little bit of a speed boost. We're going to have to drop it immediately right now. Back down, back down. We have no time to get up to 40. No time to get up to 40 at all. We're back under 20. We should be getting yellows now. That's exactly what we're getting. So there's a double yellow ahead. The next signal will be a single yellow, and then the end of the line, double red, will be at the end of the thing. Here's our milepost, number 45. No more mileposts after this. Portsmouth Harbour is your next and final stop. The station opened in October 1876 as the terminus of the Portsmouth Waterside Extension to the Portsmouth Direct Line. It was then extensively rebuilt between 1936-37, but was sadly almost completely destroyed during air raids in 1941. They don't like those seaside stations, do they? The Portsmouth Harbour area is a large natural harbour, the mouth of which provides access to the Solent. The harbour has always been a strategic location, protected by the Isle of Wight. Combined with its narrow entrance and fortification, it is almost impregnable to attack from the sea. In more recent times, it has become a major commercial ferry port and centre for sailing. The station is built on a wooden pier located between the historic dockyard and Gun Wharf Quays shopping centre. A ferry and catamaran service to Ryde Pier Head on the Isle of Wight departs from the station and is operated by White Link. Your scheduled arrival time at platform 4 is 16:33. Would you want me to stop here for 8 minutes? Is that what you're telling me? You want me to stop for 8 minutes? I'll just go ahead. So there's platform 4. It's early and it's ready and waiting for us. And as you saw, the signal turned red as we went by because that's how quickly the signals operate on this route. We need to get down to 15, so I'll do that in a hurry. Just in time. You can see the red's up ahead, but we have a yellow because we need to be able to get in. So 4 lines in and out of the station. There's the train leaving. We're early, so needless to say, that train was not expecting to see us. The other line is now yellow as well. Not that it matters. We can't use it. And there's a train inside platform 3. Oops, didn't mean to do that. As I zoom in on the window, there's no train in platform 1. This is the end of the line, so we're going to be expecting to hit a buffer here. You can see the buffer straight ahead. Coming up. Make it as far in the station as I can. I'm going to try and go all the way to the buffer if possible. I want to get that last car on if I can. Excuse me. So needless to say, I'm going to go very, very slowly at this point because we're not supposed to be here for 7 minutes anyway. So if we want to keep the timetable, we're going to get there in 7 minutes. What do you mean I'm over-exaggerating now? Okay, fine. We'll just keep going. Let's put a tiny bit of speed on. We're going to see if we can find out exactly when we want this buffer to disappear and try to make it disappear accurately. I am watching the signal. The distance from the signal is what we want to work with. If we can get that to 0, we're in good shape. Excuse me. Something in my throat. I feel like I'm coming in a little too slowly, so I'm going to add a little bit more speed. I don't think the entire train is going to fit. I now know this. The amount of distance to cover is too small, and the amount of train to get in is too great. So we're just going to get it down as low as we can, as many cars in the station as we can. We're going to go for one more walk along the platform, and then we're going to call it a day. I need to put a little more speed back on again. So we're down to 200ths. One more little burst of speed, and I'm going to go ahead and brake from there. One hundredth. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down to slightly slower speed now. There we go. You can see when I zoom in on the window, we have a lot of space left. Doesn't look like it from here. If we do it based on this eyesight, we can go ahead and start slowing down right there. And as soon as it hits 0, now I will hit the brakes. That's good enough for me. Oh, and we can open the doors, because that's the end. Can we open the doors? Yes. That's the end of our journey. Now, if I were to go out with 8, you're going to see I still have a little bit of room. I could have gone just a wee bit further. But you know what? Why? Why bother? Let's go for a walk and see how much of the train managed to make it onto the platform at the end as I go through the roof. And you can see that the last couple cars did not make it on, so we're going to go down the ramp and say, sorry guys, here, we'll get a ladder for you so you can get down here. Just get a ladder, and congratulations, you've completed all the stops of this introductory train ride. I hope you found it enjoyable and learned some useful facts along the way. Try the standard career type scenarios for further challenges. Roger. That is the end of our introductory scenario. I hope that I made it entertaining for you. Next time we're here, we're going to do one of the career scenarios. Lots of them in this packs in both formats. So we're going to try one of the career ones next time. I hope to see you for that. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you, your part of the world. I'll see you next time for more Let's Play Train Simulator. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Cyclone. Also support me on Patreon if you wish to further contribute towards my future Train Simulator play, or other games, whatever the case may be. Maybe some computer equipment as well. And yeah, join the Discord. See you next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.